This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, let's get started. So in this session, we will see why we need application packaging and what is the benefit of application packaging. Okay, understood.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So application packaging. I hope you see my screen, right?
Yes. That whiteboard I can see.
Right. Okay. So in companies, suppose if you have like 5,000 computers. Okay, some are Windows 10, some are Windows 7, some are servers, right? 5,000 or 10,000 computers are there, for example. Now, the people who are using these computers, they will, always need some applications. Like they might need, uh, you know, like Office application or Google Chrome, Firefox, or player application or database or developer application. So you have to make sure before you install application to these computers, you have to package the application. Okay, so application will be packaged in such a way that we follow the standard. Okay, let's say Google Chrome, for example. So we will follow the standards. There are some set of standards, right? That icon standard, then the folder structure, then we will see the application installation, uninstallation, and upgrade happens smoothly. No failures, very less number of computers where the application will fail. You have to validate all these things before you send the application to the devices. So in every companies, you know, uh, not in every company, but majority of the companies have application packaging team who are responsible to start getting the requirement. First they get the requirement, and then the
Mm-hmm.
second thing what they do is they will evaluate to find out whether this application can be packaged or not. Then they will package the application, and then they will give it to hand it over to sorry QA team. We will have QA team to validate the application whether it is packaged properly or not. And after it is successfully packaged, if it is not, then it will go back to packaging team, and they will have to correct the uh, issues, and then it will be given to the pilot user. So user will have to test the application. Okay, so it will be installed in their computers, and they will validate and find out if application is installed properly or not, and the application functionality, because you cannot check the application functionality. Understood?
Yes,
You can
that's
also
right.
you can only package the application, but application functionality can be given tested by this one pilot user. And once it is successfully verified from pilot users, then you send it to SCCM team for deployment. Got it? Or if
Yes.
you are working in SCCM team yourself, you can deploy this application uh, to the requested, to the needy user, those who need this application.
Or we can make it available in that catalog.
Yeah, either available or installed
Mm.
forcefully. It depends on the requirement. Okay, so in companies, big companies, you have application packaging and SCCM team. Both are two different teams. But in a small
Mm-hmm.
companies, SCCM and application team, you will have to package the application and deploy it as well. I used to do that. I used to package application and deploy to devices. Like I was handling application packaging plus SCCM. But in big companies like TCS or Accenture, or where you have like more than 10,000 computers, you will have different team for application packaging and SCCM. Okay, most likely. Understood.
Okay.
So these are the process: requirement, then evaluate, then package, then go to the it will go to the QA team, and then if QA team passes this, then it will go to pilot user, and if pilot user is all okay, then you send it to SCCM team, or you yourself deploy through SCCM to the target user's computer. So that is how it happens. Okay, normally in companies, what we do, we package all applications which are required on more than 50 computers. Depends, but some companies are packaging all applications, no matter whichever application comes into their bin, they are packaging. Or and some companies are setting up some target. Let's say if application is needed on 10 computers or 20 computers or 50 computers, then only they will package. The application which is needed on less than less than 50 computers, then they will not package, they will install uh, manually
Manually.
on those computers. Yeah, they will ask a help desk team to install the application manually. Okay,
Okay.
now what happens in the packaging? Normally what happens in packaging, you will when you download and then you start packaging, basically you define standards. Okay, that application installation and uninstallation and upgrade, those things will happen without any issue. You will have minimum impact to the user. So uh, installation, uninstallation, and upgrade, these things come under the application lifecycle. First, the installation will happen. If any issue comes in, then we can roll back, and if new version comes in, then we can upgrade the application. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say uh, this application, for example, Firefox is there. Now this Firefox has to be installed in the, either you install it on one computer or you install it in thousands and thousands of computers. Installation has to be similar on one computer or multiple computers. Okay, it should not be you know like some people are doing installation on different ways. Some people are using doing installation in different ways. So you have to have a set of a standard commands in the package, and we will be using that particular commands to do the installation. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
understood. Now, so as you know, the packaging, uh, there will be a team for package all the application. As soon as we get the requirement, first you get requirement. That's the first thing. The second one is you do evaluation. Now in evaluation, you apply multiple methods of packaging. There are 4 different methods of packaging. First one is repackaging. Understood? First one is repackaging. Second one is transform. Third one is authoring task. And the last one is silent install. Got it? So these things are defined in evaluation. So first thing first, what you do, you evaluate whether this application, whether we have to use a repackaging method, or we need to use transform method, or we need to use authoring task, or we need to use silent install. Understood?
Mm-hmm. So
Now
what is
how?
the difference?
Yeah, we will go through these
Okay.
steps one by one. Okay,
Okay.
don't worry about it.
Okay.
So requirement, you understood, right? Anyone can raise a request in your either your manager comes up with a request that you have to package certain application, or you will receive tickets, or you will receive email, or somebody might call you in companies that you have to package and deploy this application to certain
So the
computers.
setup will be given by the requester, right?
Either requester, or you have to download from the internet, but ultimately it will be the vendor, because vendor is the one who is creating the application, like Google vendor creating
Hmm.
Google Chrome, Firefox, Mozilla Firefox is creating Firefox, so you have to get the installer either from the vendor or from the requester. Okay, understood.
Okay. Hmm.
Now, so in evaluation, this is the most important point. Requirement is fine, anyone can raise a requirement. Evaluation is what it is. Review, you are reviewing the application, whether we have to take this route or this route or this one or this one. How will you evaluate? Now you see this, there are in mostly we are doing on Windows, right? So on Windows computer there are two types of installer: exe,
EXE and MXI.
msi. These are the two installers we have for Windows systems. Now exe is the old one and MSI is the new technology from Microsoft. exe has many issues which I will discuss about those things later on, and MSI is better than exe, in all terms. Why it is better than exe, I'll let you know. So when you get
Okay.
application, then you have to identify that either it is a purely exe, or it is a MSI, or you know uh, this contains sometimes what happens, exe contains MSI inside. Let's say Adobe Reader,
Like Office.
when you download.
Yes.
Yes, yes, Office application as well. When you install, this
Then
is
Chrome.
setup.exe. Yeah, setup.exe. But when you start installing, what happens? It extracts MSI, and then MSI gets installed. Okay, so you have to
Yes.
do evaluation. How will you evaluate? So let me just take you to my computer. Now this is my Windows 7 computer. So I have set up this Windows 7 computers. Windows 7 computer. After installing Windows 7, what I did, I went to run, and I went to temp, and click OK. And I'm gonna delete these extra files. It has to be a clean machine. Okay, let me just try to delete this. If you have not deleted, that's okay, but we normally delete. Try again, try again. Okay, probably I'll delete this one. Okay, so it got deleted. So I deleted this one. It's a clean machine, and then I'm gonna go to %temp% and delete the files present inside here. Skip. No, probably I'll have to delete this one. Continue. Okay, if it is not getting deleted, that's okay. Then go to prefetch and select all and delete them. Okay, so it has to be a clean machine without any application installed on it. I just deleted everything from recycle bin. So it's a clean machine. If I go to control panel, you won't see anything installed right here. It is just a VMware tool driver. Okay, nothing else is
Mhm.
installed. So you have to make sure it's a clean machine. And when it is a when you take the when you have deleted everything, you take the snapshot. You right click and choose a snapshot and take a snapshot, and like clean machine, I have taken this snapshot, clean machine. So anytime if I have to go back to the clean state, I can use this snapshot, clean machine. Now suppose I get a requirement to package one application. So I'm going to copy one application here. I have one shared folder from my host computer. Let me just copy one application. Silent installation. Okay, this one is VLC Media Player. Now you see this has .exe extension. If it does not show you the extension, you go to this folders and
Yeah, that hidden files, those options.
yes, you make sure you uncheck this one, hide extension, uncheck this one. Okay. Now suppose this is a VLC Media Player. What is the extension of this one? .exe.
Exe.
Yeah, but
Yes.
it,
if I extract, it may come up with that MSI.
Right. So it may have some MSI inside it. So you have to identify whether it is a purely exe or it contains MSI inside it. Understood? So
Okay.
So for exe, if it is a purely exe, then it does not need MSI service. As you know, in every Windows system, you have one service called Windows
The Windows
Installer.
install.
Windows Installer, this service. When you install any MSI, okay, the moment you install any MSI, it will get started. This is the service which will be called, as you see, msi exec.exe. Got it? This has to be there this will be there in every Windows system, whether it is Windows 7, Windows Server, Windows 10, and the moment you install any MSI, it will come into action automatically. If it is disabled, for example, if it is disabled, then I just disabled it. Then this will not, you will not be able to install any MSI application. Let me just show you in case if it is disabled, and I'm gonna copy another application. Let's say putty. I just copied putty. For example, I'm trying to install putty. Putty is what? It is .msi, as you see, .msi. Now, I will not be able to install putty because the service is disabled, because any MSI file will ultimately going to call this Windows installer. Let's see what happens. Okay, what does it say? The Windows installer service could not be accessed. That means it tried to call that service, but that service is disabled. This can occur if the Windows service installer is not correctly installed. Contact support personnel for assistance. Understood? You will not be able to install any MSI application. Okay, so first of all, to evaluate whether this is a purely exe or it contains an MSI, what you do, you disable this one. Come here and disable this MSI. Got it? And then you will have to have a clean machine, a packaging machine, okay, where you do all these things. Otherwise, if it is a physical machine, your life will be difficult. Now, I'm gonna install this exe application and see what happens. So let's go yes, and choose okay, and choose next, 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 install. Now what is happening? It's installing, right? Without calling MSI, because MSI is disabled at the moment.
Yes.
So you have to, when you get any application, you need to use disable this on the packaging machine, MSI service, and install it and see whether it is installing or giving you that error message when the error message which I showed you just now. So it got installed without any issue, even though the service is still disabled. As you see, if this is still, the Windows installer is still disabled. That means,
That means VLC doesn't need MSI in
right,
Windows installer.
right. So this is a purely, we can call it as a purely exe. It does not have any MSI inside it. It's a purely exe application. Got it?
Yes.
So that's the evaluation. So when it is a purely exe application, which method you will take? Which method you will take? You will
Uh,
take the first one,
then the old exe, the repackaging.
repackaging. Repackaging, basically what we do, we convert the file into from exe to MSI. We will have a MSI file instead of exe. Got it?
Okay. So why we can't deploy directly that exe?
Yeah.
We
Why we
can have.
cannot? Yeah. Why we cannot deploy exe directly? I'll let you know. Um, let you know what the issue with exe. What are the challenges? Let me show you the challenges.
Like one is for every exe, they might have separate silent those silent keys.
Yeah, I'll let you know why we don't, yeah, why we cannot use exe application in companies. Now, the disadvantage of exe, you see, before installing this application, did you know that it's gonna create a icon on the desktop?
No.
No. Very good. The second thing, did you know it's gonna create an icon on this is all programs? No, right?
On startup programs, no.
Right. And when we install exe, it has multiple unwanted files. Suppose if you are deploying it to 10,000 computers, user will see why this is documentation, release note, video, LAN website. He's not interested in these things. He is interested in the just VLC media player. That's it. Not this skinned and reset preference. Why do we need these? Understood?
Yes.
So
Also,
we have to
we
give.
may have to disable auto update.
Yes. So there are multiple things which are getting installed without our information. We don't know what exactly it is going to do until we install this application. So the first thing what we see here, let's say exe versus MSI. Okay. So first thing, you cannot open application. You cannot open exe application. You can open MSI. That means you know that before the installation of any MSI file, you know where the files are getting installed, at what location, it's going to create the shortcut. The files will go on C drive or D drive, where. Understood? So it is like you are unaware when the exe application is installed. You don't know what exactly the changes it's gonna make to the computer. Understood? Any question?
So, cannot open application means like let's say VLC was a exe, right? So cannot open
Hmm.
application means
Cannot open, that means MSI, you can edit the MSI and see you can open the whole application. You can see how many shortcuts are getting on the desktop, how many shortcuts are coming in all program files. Understood?
So like you can extract the configuration, right?
You will
You
see the
want to make,
configuration. You can see the
okay,
actual configuration. Okay.
through if it is MSI,
Yes. The second
but
one
if
is
it's
exe.
okay,
If it is exe, then you cannot. Okay.
okay.
Then you cannot customize. Customization is possible. You cannot
So let's
customize the
say
application. So,
Microsoft Office,
hmm,
everywhere it is being deployed as a exe, right? But
hmm.
it has option to customize, like
Yeah, because it has
what are
MSI.
the, so it has both actually.
Yes, it has both. So that application, Microsoft itself gives the customizer tool. You can customize the whole application. We'll talk about a Office
Okay,
application later on. Don't worry about it. So you
okay.
understand the basic concept of exe and MSI. Understood?
Mm-hmm.
Now you cannot customize exe application. That means I don't want some files to be present here. I don't want this documentation, release note, and video. I cannot do that. Okay. So that's not possible. Customization is not possible. Third thing is uh, sorry, self healing is not possible. It is possible. Self healing is what?
Self-healing means repair, like while files are
Yes,
corrupted or.
right. So suppose if somebody goes to this computer and go to this C drive and program files x86, I think, video LAN and VLC. Now somebody if comes here and delete these files, for example, if that is the case, okay, then what will happen? It won't repair the application. The files are gone. So suppose I'm gonna delete these files. Let's say delete accidentally or purposely. If I double click on this, what will happen? Oh, files are still there in recycle bin. Let me just remove this from you. Now, if I double click on this, what is happening?
It won't work.
It won't work.
It it
That,
it, it cannot locate here.
yeah, it cannot locate. So this is called self-healing. But in MSI case, if you double click, even though file is deleted, if you double click on this, automatically it is gonna repair the application and you will have all your files back. Got it?
Mm-hmm.
Understood?
Yes.
Now, suppose
So
if
that
I
means
try to,
it's keeping all the files like double, twice, right? In case of MSI,
it keeps the
even though I'm
files
deleting
in, yeah, it keeps the file in association. It keeps
Windows
the
that
files file
in,
association.
in in that MSI folder, that by the registry, that entry we can
Right,
locate
right,
which MSI. Right? So over there
right,
it's keeping.
right.
Okay.
So if you try to repair, you see repair option is not there. Let's try
Hmm.
to change and see if you see an error occurred while trying to uninstall. If you have already been uninstalled, would you like to remove? So I don't have repair option. Do you have repair option here? Okay.
No.
So I cannot repair. You see, VMware tool I can repair, but VLC I cannot repair. So let me just point number 4. Repair is um, very rare. In some application you have repair, but most of the time repair is not there. Okay. Repair is present in all MSI. Got it?
Yeah.
So you cannot repair this application. That's the issue with this exe application. Now, the second thing is you don't have the install command, standard set of install command. Do you know before the installation, did you know the command lines of installation, uninstallation, upgrade? Do you know the command line of this one? You don't know,
No,
right?
it's different for each vendor, right?
Right. So we can say no standard set of commands. So a standard set of commands present in MSI, but not in exe application. Understood?
Yes.
Rollback, ROLL, I am not sure. Rollback is not there. Point number 6, rollback. Rollback is not there. What is rollback? Any idea what is rollback?
Reverting to the previous version.
Yeah. For example, if I am installing this application, VLC Media Player, let's understand this. And I'm gonna go next and next. Suppose I'm installing and somehow I cancel this application from task manager or from this. Let's say I right click and end process, for example. Whatever the changes it has done so far in the computer, those changes are not removed. Got it? So the changes are still there. If during installation, if something goes wrong with the application, if it fails to install, you see half files came and half files are not there. These are the half files, like 50% or 40% installed, and rest it failed. You see, so it will work, but it may not work with all the features because only the half of the files are copied over here.
Yeah.
You understand? So suppose if it is installing, let's say I am installing the application and it has to go from 0% to 100%, 0% to 100%, and by the time it is reaching 40%, it failed due to some reason. So it should roll back all the settings back to 0%. Understood? Whatever the settings it has copied so far on registry, on files and everything, it has to remove everything. That's not possible in exe. It does not do that. It just failed. That's it. Whatever the changes are there is still be there on the computer. But in case of MSI, what happens? Suppose you have to go from 0% to 0% to 100%. If let's say if you go to 50%, MSI application is going here and it failed due to some reason, it will go back. Whatever the changes it has done so far, it will remove all the changes. Understood?
Yes.
Okay. So in organization where you have thousands and thousands of systems, you cannot rely on exe application. You always go with, not always, but like 95% of time you go with MSI. You try to find MSI because that will make your life easier. So success rate is greater. So point number 7, you can say success rate is higher. Success rate is lower. So in companies, if you are installing this exe application on 5,000 computers, so chances are very high that it will fail on like 30% computers or 20% computers. But however, in MSI, you will have a higher success rate. Okay, got it?
Yep. Yeah.
Point number 8 is suppose if you need to upgrade this application. Let's say VLC media player new version is in the market. Then upgrade is also is a challenge. I'm saying upgrade is a challenge basically, but it is not. Upgrade is very smooth. You can smoothly upgrade MSI application. Okay, understood or not?
How the difference happens? Like, because for exe we get the prompts, because you are saying in this way, like, while you are doing the upgrade, it will go as a installation, like a fresh installation on top of it, or why?
Yeah, exe, it will every time it is like a fresh installation. Okay, it will
Okay.
most probably like 90% of time it will remove all the previous settings. Let's say putty, putty, people will save their uh, configuration, like their IP address, their computer names and all. So if you upgrade, let's say you are upgrading using exe application, it will remove all the configuration as well. Understood? Because you are cleaning you are uninstalling the application completely and reinstalling. Okay, so these are the challenges in exe application. Let me now show you the MSI, the benefit, practically. I showed you the exe challenges.
Hmm.
Now I'm gonna show you um, some one MSI application, then you will understand uh, the benefit. I think I have one MSI Kashif application software. Let me take which MSI I'm gonna take. Google Chrome. I had created one MSI application. Okay, no worries. I'm gonna take this one, Putty. For example, let's install Putty. So, sorry.
Did you enable Windows installer?
Let me do that. So I'm gonna choose like manual and apply and OK and close it. Now I'm gonna go to desktop, CD users, Kashif, desktop, and Putty. Now next, okay, you can also change the location. Find next and install. For example, if it fails here, right here, if it fails, it will remove the changes, whatever the changes it has done.
Or even if
That
you
is called,
cancel, it will revert.
it will revert. Okay, now you see this putty is installed and I don't have any icon on the desktop. That's okay. Let me see, where is that putty 64, and
Start,
these are the files.
maybe.
Yeah, yeah. So we can customize. that customization is possible. What all icons you want here, what all icons you want on desktop, those things we can customize. If you click on putty, you see putty is coming. Let me go to control panel and see how it looks in control panel. You see repair option is there. Understood?
Yes.
Clear or not? Now let me try to delete the putty files from this C drive, program files. Let's say I delete putty files. Putty is open, that's the reason it is saying. Okay, try again. I deleted all putty files from program files. What will happen? Let me just remove it from recycle bin as well. So putty file is deleted. All the putty files are deleted from program files. Now if I go back and repair this application, either repair or click on this putty, probably it will repair again. Okay, so looks like they have not given this advertise shortcut. That's okay. So we can try repairing and say yes. All the files are back. All the files are back on that location. Clear?
Yes.
I will also show you in when we go in the training in this repackaging training tomorrow probably. Then if the application files are missing, automatically it will repair the moment you click on this. Okay, right now it is not happening because the people who have,
The file is not customized.
yeah, the people who have created this application, they have not advertised this shortcut. I will talk about this advertised shortcut and non-advertised shortcut. Currently it is non-advertised shortcut. I'll talk about those things later on. But you see, this application has repair option, self-healing option is there. This application can be customized. Okay, you can customize the application. You have
So
set
in
of
case,
command lines.
let's say my
Mhm.
files got deleted, or in that case, exe will not be able to retrieve those files. I have to go for like there is no way to get that thing. So
Mm.
at that point, if it is being deployed through SCCM, if I trigger a reinstall for that particular component,
Mm.
it will bring those files again, right? So it is as
Right.
same as the file, either it's being stored in my machine
But
or it is being triggered from the SCCM.
but for
Mhm.
SCCM, if user, let's say this application got corrupt in user computer, they will have to
Mhm.
call you to fix it, right? They will need to call you, or you will have to send it through SCCM or whatever it is. You will have to reinstall or whatever it is. But
But
in
even for
MSI,
MSI also, users don't have admin rights, right? They won't be
no,
able
no, no,
to trigger
no, no,
repair.
no, no, no. When we do the advertise shortcut here, the moment he clicks on that, this application will get repaired automatically. They don't have to call you or call SCCM team. Got it?
Okay. Yeah.
So this is not customized. I'll show you how to customize that one and make it in such a way that user, this application will get auto repaired as soon as the files are deleted. Okay.
Okay.
So the challenges with exe, as I mentioned already, now you can open the application. You can see, I'll show you how to open that application. You can customize. I'll show you later on. Self-healing is possible. I'll show you how the self-healing works. Repair, I just showed you. Repair, standard set of command lines. You have the standard set of command lines. These are the standard set of command lines for all MSI applications, like /i/x slash quiet slash passive. These are standard command lines, and that is not available in exe application. You can roll back application. Rollback means if the changes are made and suddenly the application installation failed, it will roll back all the settings. Then success rate is higher, upgrade is also very smooth. That I'll show you later on. I hope you got the gist of it, right? The
Yes,
exe issues, challenges. So that is the main
yes.
reason why we repackage application or package through multiple packaging tools available, and then deploy using Altrace or SCCM or any other deployment tool to the uh, devices and companies. Okay.
From security point of view also, is it more safe to use MSI rather than EXE?
Yes, because in the main thing is in exe application you don't see what is happening when we install the application. What all files will go to registry, what all files will go to program files, what all files will go to Windows. It is like blind installation. But MSI, you can see all the file structure. Okay.
Okay.
So today what we did the evaluation and the advantage of MSI and disadvantage of exe versus MSI application. Okay, so just a quick summary.
Mm-hmm.
Today what we discussed about application packaging requirement, why we need application packaging, then methods of application packaging. There are how many methods? 4 methods, right?
4. Yes.
Then so we evaluated an application, find out whether it is a purely exe or MSI application. Point number 4, exe versus MSI. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so tomorrow we will meet and we'll do the practical for MSI application. I'll show you the repackaging, how to convert this VLC media
Hello. 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 Hello.
Saikat.
Yeah, now I can hear you.
Okay,
Okay.
so we'll do the session tomorrow, same time, and
Okay.
we'll
Yeah.
talk about more things. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. Other people kindly join in 2 minutes, please. Gurpreet, James, and um, Vikash.